Okay, some of you are not going to like this, but the biggest question I always get asked on this channel straight up is people say, how do you approach a girl? Or Casey, can you make a video on how you approach a girl the right way? Or can you make a video on how to talk to a girl the right way? Or can you make a video on how to make the girl like you once you say hi? Okay, I'm going to address all of these things, but you have to stay with me until the end of the whole video because unless you have all of these components in place, it's not going to work. Now, fair warning, nobody else on the internet is going to give you this step-by-step process I've used my whole life, okay? Because I'm not going to get into anything that resembles pickup tactics. I'm not going to get into anything that resembles how to trick a girl into making her like you through escalated verbals and all this crap. Okay, if you think this is a math test or an algebra equation of just say this when this happens, you're missing the entire point. So let's dive in. So I was on a date this morning and the girl I'm sitting with, we're at this coffee shop and there's these two guys playing like this handheld video game device, like intense in public looking at each other. And they can tell, like it looked kind of weird. And I made some comment like, this right here is why guys aren't getting laid or something like that. And the girl looked at me and she goes, no, it's because they're unattractive. And she looks me dead in the eyes and with a smile on her face. And she was dead serious about this. And she goes, I'd still you every single day, even if you played video games all day right in front of me because I think you're hot. Okay, and it was really a big light bulb turnkey moment for me. Okay, because I started to understand something that I've probably failed to address about women, about dating, about female nature, and about approach my entire life on this channel. Okay, I'm going to give you the exact process right now to approach a woman the correct way without risk of rejection. So stay with me because you need to hear this. Okay. The reason why I'm going to lay this out in a step-by-step format and then at the end I'm going to summarize these points with the key nuances that you have to understand is because you have to have all of these things tie in together. So the first thing you have to do, obviously, okay, this is like a no-brainer. I don't know why guys aren't talking about this who talk about dating advice and pickup advice, is build a masculine and or aesthetic body, okay? Like, I'm going to put this as plain Jane as humanly possible. Get big arms, get big shoulders, go and get six-pack abs, learn how to count your macros, learn how to diet, okay? If you're walking through the mall and you ain't turning any heads, if you're walking through the mall and girls aren't looking you up and down, if you're walking through the mall and girls aren't giving you like the look at all, like you're not like you have to be an attractive man. Which means self-care and building a V-taper, a strong masculine body is like the #1 cheat code. Okay, the reason being is because you're obviously going to be received in public. Like the girl I was even on a date with, she looks right at me and she goes, if you're attractive, you can get away with anything. And to some degree, that's very, very true because what it resembles is good reproduction or good reproductive genes, self-care, and you hold yourself to a high standard. Women know that if you have a good body, it obviously requires dedication and sacrifice and discipline, which are hardcore, attractive, masculine traits. Women like to see that in a guy. So notice, we haven't got to the approach yet, but I need to preface all these points so that way when you do say hi to her, she's like, okay, cool, I'm into this guy. The second thing you have to do, okay, you have to stockpile 1 to 2 years of cash. I'm talking complete cash where if shit hit the fan and you lose your job, your business goes to crap, your employees leave you, I don't care what it is, you need cash sitting liquid, so that is your safety net if stuff happens. And the reason why this is so important, okay, is because we're trying to remove any unnecessary stress from our lives. Okay, if you're stressed out about your finances for yourself, okay, here's what happens is it wears on your mood 24/7, and that is not going to be an uplifting spirit, okay, or that is not going to be the right positive energy that you need to be in when you're socializing or when you're approaching anybody for that matter, okay? One of the biggest reasons, okay, I'm gonna read this word for it, stock 1 to 2 years of cash so you don't walk around anxious. One of the biggest things, if I've ever done a coaching call in the past with any of my clients inside of the Masculinity Blueprint, okay, in order to get into that, you need to go down below and watch the MBT webinar, okay? I show you masculine behavioral techniques, but nevertheless, like guys, when I've done coaching calls before, is they have this anxious anxiety feeling about them. And every time we get to the root of it, this anxiety is typically coming because when you get right down into it, you need a big reserve. When you have a big reserve, you sleep soundly at night, okay? When you build a masculine body and you like how you look in the mirror, you've stockpiled 1 to 2 years of cash, or you have investments and you have cash flow, you can walk through life kind of in cheat code mode because you're happy, because you don't have this wave of anxiety around you, not only working for a paycheck that doesn't suit you, but you know if anything happens, you're safe. That safety net builds a layer of confidence that I can't tell you how is so, I can't explain to you how important that is, because when you do have that safety net, you walk, talk, and act differently. Straight up, that it removes a lot of the stress, it removes a lot of the anxiety, because when you have that stress and that anxiety about how much you can protect, how much you can provide, okay, when you have that anxiety where you don't feel like you're safe enough with your current finances, or that you could or couldn't provide for a woman, okay, you live in a suppressed mood. That suppressed mood wears on your attitude, it wears on your demeanor, okay, and you might not notice it right on the approach. But if you spend days, weeks, months, and years of your life living in fear, living in stress. And real quick, I just want to add this in. The reason why this is so important when it comes to your approach in the first place is because when you like where you're at and you're comfortable and confident with where you're at financially, there's an uplift in your spirit, there's an uplift in your mood, and when you talk and when you communicate, it resonates a higher level of confidence with the individual. Okay, this is why it's so important as a man to take care of these things. Living in anxiety and not financially free, it is going to rob you of a lot of internal happiness. Okay, so that's second. Okay, third, when you have to like who you are and what you became. Okay, this is another cheat code to winning on the approach. I'm going to explain why. If you like who you are and you like what you've became, okay, you have to be able to look in the mirror. You have to look yourself up and down and go, damn, I like who I am. I like what I do for a living. I like how I sound. I like how I look. I like how I dress. I like how my swag is. I'm doing life my way because it's me. You have to be fully confident and fully congruent with you and who you are. So then when you look in the mirror like that and you're like, damn, I like who I've became. Do you understand how attractive that is? Because now a woman sees congruence. Congruence through your confidence. Congruence through who you are. Meaning who you are and what you say you are is congruent and is the same thing. That's called authenticity. Women find that attractive because the man knows himself. So here's what I wrote down for this one, okay? You have to look in the mirror and envision who you need to become. So I'm going to give you an example. When I look in the mirror right now, okay, I look at my body, I look how I look, everything, like I'm pretty much exactly how I thought I would look and how I wanted to look. Back when I was 16 years old, the 27-year-old version of me today, I look exactly how I wanted to, I became exactly what I wanted to be. That is important to envision a future where you are who you want to be and you become that man. So those are the three things that have to be in place. And when you actually have these three things in place, let me explain something to you. Now you become a guy who's not low status. When you're a guy who's no longer low status, your mood, okay, your uplifting energy, you're walking around instead of a suppressed or suffocated state that wears on your mood, wears on your morale, wears on your demeanor, wears on your ability to not speak fully. Okay, if you notice when a lot of guys talk, they sound kind of weak, they sound like suffocated almost. It's not good, okay? You need to transcend and uplift through that, and the confidence only comes when you've put the steps in place to like who you are as a man. So, when you do those things, you become a guy who's no longer low status. Now, guess what happens? You say hi to the girl, okay? It's received well. You flirt, it's received well. You ask for the number, they text back. And I'm telling you, you have to do these things because all of you guys need to know what it's like to have a woman who treats you well. A lot of you guys think that your relationships that have failed you in the past, they're all like that and that's how it's going to be forever. And it's not true, okay? And I'm living proof of this because when women like you, I can't stress this enough, they act normal, okay? They will text you, hi, comma, getting done with work, want to meet up, question mark? Want to go on a walk, smiley face? Want to go get coffee with me? They will randomly call you and say, hey, I'm hungry. Do you want to go get food with me? Yes, there might be 100 guys in their inbox, but they're calling you, they're reaching out to you. They like you because you're different then. So when you do these things, like, I can't stress this enough, women act normal. They don't play these games where they don't text back. They don't text you back and act like they don't know what you're talking about. They don't try to make you jump through hoops and ladders. They act like a normal human being because you have made yourself a man of value. And really that stems from how you should improve and how you should live your entire life. So if you think any of what I just told you, okay, or excuse me, if you think you can beat any of the things that I just told you by learning these fake game and seduction patterns, you are sorely mistaken. You're sorely mistaken because in the long run, past a 20-minute interaction, past a 30-minute interaction, past a date or two, man, even if you guys sleep together, she is going to get a sense that you're full of crap. You're full of crap because you're not who you say you are. A woman needs to see you're working on things when she comes into your life. She needs to see that you care about what you do. She needs to see that you have a good head on your shoulders. Okay, and on top of that, if you look strong and powerful, if you have a body that is shaped as a strong masculine man should look, like, yes, you have to be able to look in the mirror and you should be able to look in the mirror, okay? And if you were an outsider and you wouldn't be nervous to be in a confrontation with yourself, you are not doing what you need to be doing. Like, you need to be a strong, powerful individual who looks like they can protect and provide if anything bad were to happen. And that takes getting strong. That takes getting in the gym. That takes being dedicated and disciplined. All of these things are keys to a good approach. So if you're part of the 1%, part of the full stack men, who actually believe in application, not just information. Okay, because I just gave you this information. It doesn't do anything unless you apply it. For those of you who are full stack, for those of you who are 1%ers, for those of you wanting to go a step further, you go down below right now, you make a promise, you make a pledge to yourself, you say, I'm going to go down below and I'm going to click Casey's link. You're going to go down below, you're going to click the MBT webinar. You're going to register for that webinar and you're going to watch the whole thing end to end. Yes, it's a little bit of your time, but it will serve you because I'm going to be pulling back the curtain and showing you 3 hidden secrets of MBT. Okay? Masculine energy, masculine frame, and my own personal, okay, this is Casey's lived experience, my own personal #1 hack to unlimited options in your pipeline forever. This is what you need to actually be successful. And I've already crafted an entire presentation for you. All you have to do is go down below and watch it. So guys, hit the like button. This right here is how you approach a girl. And notice it has nothing to do with the approach. It has everything to do with who you are. We'll see you in the next one.